Woo-wee! There's some big news happening in the ways of the coronavirus vaccine. So earlier today on December 8th, 2020, Pfizer and BioNTech announced that they have officially created a new vaccine. So since this news is so recent, in this video I want to go over exactly what the vaccine is, how it's going to be administered, and also the 5 biggest myths surrounding the COVID vaccine. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony McLemore, and as I said in the intro, in this video I'm going to be covering the coronavirus vaccine. So quite a few months ago, Pfizer and BioNTech began working on a vaccine for the coronavirus. Now as of today, they said that they have successfully completed the vaccine and that it provides a very strong protection within the first 10 days of being vaccinated. So right now I'm going to go over the main points that you should know about the vaccine so that you have a better understanding of exactly what it is. Basically, the vaccine as of this point is a 2-dosage vaccine. And with those 2 dosages, it has an efficacy rate of 95%, which is pretty high. Now to stop right there, that's one of the main differences between the COVID vaccine and the flu vaccine. With the flu vaccine, you typically only get it once a year. But with this new COVID vaccine, you'll have to get 2 injections in order to receive the best results. It is also reported that the vaccine works regardless of your race, weight, or age. So assuming that this is true, the vaccine should be effective for the widest range of people possible. Now they didn't just come up with this vaccine out of the blue. They began a clinical trial back in July 2020 where 44,000 people were involved from the countries of the United States, Brazil, and Argentina. And in order to test the effectiveness of the vaccine, half of the 44,000 people got the actual proposed vaccine and the other half of the people got a placebo medicine. Over the course of a few months, they began to track the effectiveness of the vaccine, and in the group that actually got the vaccine, the COVID cases began to decrease, while in the group that got the placebo medicine, the COVID cases steadily increased. And the main takeaway from this is that the new COVID cases in the vaccinated group began to decline dramatically within the first 10 days of being vaccinated. However, a report did say that it is unclear how long the protection of the first vaccination will last, which is why a second dosage was introduced. And from those who were vaccinated a second time, the actual efficacy rate of the vaccine rose to 92%, with it being at 52% after the first dosage of it. And something else we can take away from these main bullet points is that even if the vaccine is authorized on the FDA level, the clinical trial that started back in July will continue to monitor any lingering side effects. Now that is the basics of the vaccine as of December 8th, 2020. But I know a few people who are scared of the vaccine and tend to believe some of the myths that are surrounding it. So now I want to go through the top 5 myths about the COVID vaccine and tell you guys whether or not they are true. So the first myth regarding the COVID vaccine is that it will actually give you COVID. Now this is false for a number of reasons. The COVID vaccine will be similar to the flu vaccine. And the way vaccines work is that you're not actually injected with the live virus itself in order to fight it off. And this goes to the reason that you're not immediately safe once you receive the vaccination. When you get vaccinated, you have to wait for your body to go through a thing called seroconversion, where your body recognizes the incoming vaccine as an invader and then prepares to fight it off. Through this preparation, your body begins to build up antibodies to the actual COVID-19. So basically, the vaccine is like an imposter virus that allows your body to practice and be more prepared for when it does meet the real thing. Moving on to the second myth surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine is that the vaccine will be mandatory for everybody in the United States with no exceptions. This is also false. The director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Anthony Fauci, said that a mandatory vaccine would be unenforceable and inappropriate. However, some states and local governments could still exercise their right to enforce a vaccination. Now, as for this myth, I wouldn't say that it is completely false because you still could be required to receive the vaccine in some states and local counties. But as far as everyone in the United States being required to get the vaccine, that is not true. This leads me to the next myth that surrounds the COVID-19 vaccine, and that is that the vaccine will be forcibly administered by the military. Now, this is also false. A spokesperson for the Department of Defense and the military said that the Department of Defense will have a role in helping distribute the vaccinations and only helping to distribute. That's it, with no indications towards forceful administration. Now, I know that it is a pretty scary thought and something that you might see in a communist country to have military officials forcefully hold you down and make you get vaccinated, but that's just not really how things work in the United States. So even though you may be required to get it in some district, you won't be held at gunpoint to get the shot in your arm. Now, the next myth surrounding COVID vaccinations is that it is impossible to make an effective vaccine in less than a year. Now, this is actually a pretty good observation because typically it takes years and years to create a vaccine that is FDA approved and being administered to the mass public. But the reason why the COVID-19 vaccine was developed so quickly was because many of the things that are done in sequence were actually done in parallel with the COVID vaccine, meaning that usually steps that are taken one after another were being worked on at the same time to increase the production rate. So because this was such a huge focus in the recent months and so many scientists and companies were working on it, that allowed the process of developing the vaccine to expedite in order to get it done so quickly. This leads me to the last myth I'm going to talk about this video, and probably the most ridiculous, and that is that there will be a microchip embedded in the vaccine in order for the government to track your every movement no matter where you go. Now, I don't want to say that this myth is false because I don't have all of the information, but I just want to say that it is not plausible by any means. Obviously, official sources say that there won't be any tracking devices embedded in the COVID-19 vaccine, but why would they tell us if it was? They didn't go on to say that the only microchip associated with the vaccine will be embedded onto the syringes so that they can track where the vaccines were administered, but they insist that these microchips will not be embedded into your body. But like I said, said, why would they tell us if they were? But the reason why I believe them is because if the government really wanted to track you, they could already be doing it in a number of different ways. They have access to your cell phone data, to security cameras, to your Facebook, which tracks almost everything. If the government wanted to keep tabs on you, they would have no problem with doing that without a microchip in your body. Possibly the only way to get away from this is to leave all electronics behind and go live in the mountains somewhere without any access to the outside world. But with that being said, I really hope you found some value in this COVID-19 vaccine overview. I would really like to hear your thoughts on the COVID-19 vaccination, whether you want to get it or not, and your thoughts about the overall process and how effective it will be. So leave a comment down below, as I really do like reading and responding to every single one of them. And also, if you found some kind of value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you smash that like button, because it really does help my channel out and helps my content reach a broader audience. And if you like my personality for some odd reason, and then hit that subscribe button, as I do actually post fun content from time to time. But with that being said, I really hope you found some value in this video, and until next time, guys, peace.